Are you bored? I'm not. Hey, it's the DE Diva, aka the Delaware blogger, coming to you with another episode of Podcasting Your Purpose. That's right. Today we're talking about Break the Boredom with a podcast, episode number 85. I think about that episode of I Love Lucy, where she says, "Are you poor, bored, tired, poop, da 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 da?" Well, you know what? We all feel that way sometimes. And with this COVID-19 pandemic, it's even worse. But before we dive into ways to break the boredom with a podcast, let me give my well wishes and to everyone that was affected by that. Wow, that storm, that tornado yesterday that tore through not only the state of Delaware, but in the surrounding areas. Shout out to all my neighbors from my old neighborhood in Middletown down in Summit Farm. I see that there was a lot of devastation and destruction. Wow. I mean, it was amazing. And some people are still without power, 18, 19, 24 hours later. So, again, I am sending up well wishes and prayers for everyone that was affected by the tornado yesterday, as well as I just heard on the news a little girl, I think 5 years old, with autism, nonverbal autism, who was swept away in those flood waters, and they found her tiny body today. So I am sending prayers and condolences to the family of that little girl, as well as anyone across this nation that has been affected or was affected by the storms, not only here, but also some of the catastrophes all over the world. In Beirut, the bombing, well, they said it wasn't a bombing, but it was a major, major explosion. So again, every day that you wake up looking up, hey, it's a blessing. I like to say when you wake up looking up, everything else is gravy, baby. But that's not, just a mantra that I have. It is what I really believe. It's how I feel, when I wake up and that alarm clock goes off, because that is the only way I can wake up before noon. I'm sorry, but if I don't have the alarm clock and I'm hitting the snooze, I don't care what those gurus say. You got to get up at 5 a.m. and do this, that, and the other. It ain't me. But when I wake up and I hit that snooze, I go, thank you, God, for another day, because each day is a new day and the next day is not promised. So if you are home and you are thinking of what in the world are you going to do, because we don't know when we're going to get back or go to start a new normal. We're actually starting a new normal. But if you're now working remotely from home, we were already in a rut. Americans were really, really in a rut even before the pandemic. You would wake up, you get something to eat, some coffee, you drag yourself, you go to work, you did your job, you came home and spent some time with your family, you ate, you slept, rinse and repeat. It was just over and over and over again. Really, you may have had a vacation here or there. You may have done a few things, work outside, some lawn work and stuff like that. But some people found that that was just a rut. And if you're newly retired, oh my God, you're looking forward to the days that you can go and travel and be and do whatever you want to do. And then boom, COVID-19 hit. So now you're stuck in that house. What are you going to do? You've done repeated the same thing over and over again for 30, 40 years. I did it for 32 years, and I was laid off. So I decided to start my own business. And then I was out there, I was doing courses and presentations and in the schools, and all of a sudden, boom, COVID hit. So what am I going to do? What do you do? Well, you know what I did? In addition to blogging and vlogging, I decided to start a podcast. That's right. Not only did I start a podcast, but I added on to my podcasting programming, because actually this podcast is my fourth one. I started podcasting in 2017. Social Media Sunday with the Delaware blogger on AAU Teen Talk Radio on Blog Talk Radio. I started that interview style live podcast back in 2017 for about 2 years. And then also in 2017, I was doing Anchor FM, the Delaware blogger podcast, which I'm still doing, and I still love that. So you need to check that out. That's on Anchor FM every Saturday at 10 a.m. And then I also recently started with the Blog Talk Radio with the Blog Your Way to a Business Profit. That I kicked that off last April or this April after I did Out and About with Antionette. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because I love it. Podcasting is a perfect platform, a perfect media to use to break the boredom. Let me tell you something. One, they said 3 out of every 4 Americans from the ages 25 to 54 years old listen to a podcast at least once a month. I'll be 59 next month. I know I listen to podcasts during the week, including my own. I'm not going to, there's no shame in my game, but I listen to my podcast as well. So there are some podcasters out there that are generating more than $1 million a year. Wow. But my name is not Michelle Obama. My name is not Joe Rogan. My name is not Don Lemon. So I don't know if I'll ever make over $1 million a year. And to be honest with you, that's not why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I enjoy doing it. Just like blogging. I love blogging and I love teaching others how to blog, which is why becoming an adjunct instructor at Dell Tech was wonderful. I was out and about, but then that stopped. So now I'm doing the online coaching. Now podcasting. Again, I am creating courses, mini coaching sessions for one-on-ones or groups when we get together again, teaching others how to start a podcast because this quarantine is different for everybody. You know, some people, it's fun. They love it. They love to be inside, but for others, it is driving them crazy. How many movies can they binge watch? How many, movies can they look at? How many books can they read? How many times can they run back and forth to the refrigerator? Some people may be literally suffering through this pandemic. So if you are one of them, and you love to share information with others, then a podcast is definitely something you should consider. It's using your voice, your vision, your mission to share with others who may be in need of your expertise. Like I said, I am a boomer. I am over the age of 50. I am an encore entrepreneur, and my tagline for my blog on dellblogger.com is I'm a boomer who blogs with a millennial mind. And that is only because I love learning new things. And that's why I come to you every day, Monday through Friday, to give you podcasting pointers. So break the boredom with a podcast. There are so many topics out there that you probably are an expert or a guru, or you have information about that you can share with others. Things like if you're an author, right? You know, I'm an author. I wrote basic blogging tips for beginners. But if you're an author, you have a book, you can start a podcast where you are literally reading from your book. You are going behind the scenes about the characters or the situations or anything that has to do with the book itself. So you can create a podcast, a weekly podcast about your book. You can also teach others, teach students how to start a podcast, teach students how to draw, teach students how to, do so many different things, because again, they're no longer going to be in the classroom all the time. You're going to have like a virtual type class where they're in classrooms, but then they're going to be learning online, and having a podcast where they're simply popping these earbuds into their ear and they're listening to you, helping them navigate whatever the case may be, whatever the topic is going to be helpful to them. And, I always thought that, with a podcast, because it is audio, you don't have to be seen. You could be in your bedroom in your slippers with no makeup and your hair in a bonnet or whatever the case may be, that it wouldn't be a good medium to do things like product reviews. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen, I have changed my mind. I think creating a product review podcast, because I know, admit it, you love seeing that Amazon Prime truck drive up and leave you that notification. Yes, you are ordering things like nobody's business. So in addition to leaving an online review, why not give it an audio review? That's right. You can do a podcast with product reviews. Whatever you're ordering, it could be health and wellness, it could be fashion and fitness. You can start a product review podcast. Excuse me. health and wellness. Hey, we all know we're dealing with carpal tunnel syndrome, tech neck, all that. We're scrolling through, we're getting that pain and getting pain in our back. What are some techniques that you can help us with to alleviate some of that pain? How about spirituality and religion? That's perfect. You could do that as well. Excuse me. And I don't have my water. That's one thing you want to do when you have a podcast. Make sure you have some water with you, because you will get that tickle in your throat. You can do entertainment news. Perhaps you want to report on the latest antics of Kanye West. I don't know who would do that. But anyway, you can do that. Entertainment news is always of interest. People want to know what's happening with Will and Jada. People want to know what's happening with, movies and entertainment, and, be your own TMZ podcaster. A comedy. Are you a comedian? Are you a Kevin Hart or wannabe? Use the podcasting platform to showcase your talents. If you're a musician, you can't be out and about anymore. So create a podcast showcasing your music. So, excuse me, that is so rude. I should have had my water here, which is one of the tips that you will find if you get Podcasting Your Purpose workbook. This is available on Amazon.com for $15.99. But you remember, I'll get this to you free if you sign up for my 90-minute mini coaching session. That's right, for 90 minutes, which we break up into 3 30-minute Zoom calls, which I record and send to you with checklists and printables and the book. You can start your podcast. If you're interested in starting that podcast, or you're interested in talking about starting a podcast, send an email to me, info@ablakeenterprises.com. We can either set you up for the 30-minute complimentary discovery call, or get you right in there with that 90-minute mini coaching session for $97. And I have 2 clients this week, and then next week I'm going to start with the 2 more. I got 2 more next week as well. So if you're interested in learning more about podcasting, how to break the boredom with the podcast, how to do podcasts for any topics. Like I said, we can talk about repurposing content from your blog or your book, product reviews, because you're ordering from Amazon, spirituality and religion, entertainment, comedy, music. Maybe you want to teach others how to start a podcast, which is what I do. Teach others how to start a blog, which is what I do as well. There are so many topics out there: fashion, fun, fitness, and especially if you're over the age of 50 and 60, a boomer and beyond, and you want to do something that's going to break that boredom of not being able to be out and about. You can leave your legacy with a podcast, which is what I always talk about. Again, we have a voice, we have a vision, and we can literally change someone's life by sharing with them information that can help them. Yesterday, like I said, we had the horrendous tornadoes and high winds and floods, and people are going through it. Is there something that you can help others deal with while they're recovering from this? Is there something that you can share with others on, disaster recovery? Those are just a few topics that you can start your podcast on, whether it's driving, new drivers, things like that. There's just so many topics. Remember, whatever you have a passion for, there's someone out there that wants to learn more about it. So brainstorm those topics. That's what we talk about in the Podcasting Your Purpose workbook. I talk about brainstorming. Why do you want to start a podcast? I want you to do it like a brain dump. Why is it? You want to speak your passion. You want to share your vision. Maybe you want to market and create a membership site. Perhaps you sell products, health products, jewelry products, fashion products, and you want to create a podcast to promote your products because people are not coming into your brick and mortar store. Perhaps you have a blog or a vlog or a book with content that you want to repurpose. It's helping you to build trust. People are coming to you in an intimate manner. Remember, I said when they pop these earbuds into their ears, or put those headsets onto their heads. They are having an intimate relationship with you. It's just you and them. They're listening to your voice. They're imagining. They're thinking about what it is that you are telling them. So that is another reason. If you're a parent, a grandparent, an aunt, an uncle, you can leave your legacy for your family, because many years after we pass through the clouds, your the generation before you can pull down that content from the cloud. So if there's something that you can share, family history, ancestry, we want to know about our family. Unfortunately, a lot of us, especially a lot of African Americans, don't know their family history. We have rich history. Why not interview a family member? Now you can do that on the phone simply by recording on your phone, using Anchor FM to record with friends. Do a weekly interview with that aunt, that mother. I mean, parents are getting older. Grandparents are getting older. People are leaving this world in droves. Don't ever feel like you cannot ask them when growing up. And it may seem cliche, but it is really something that you may regret not doing later in life. So again, if you're interested in starting a podcast, not only just to break the boredom, but to also share your mission and your vision, send an email to me at info@ablakeenterprises.com. Also, listen into my podcast on Wednesdays, Blog Your Way to a Business Profit, where I talk about blogging tips and trends that will turn your passion into a profit. That's on Blog Talk Radio. You can hear us on iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, and many other platforms. Just use the tiny URL blog to profit, blog the number 2 to profit. And then every Saturday at 10 a.m. on Anchor FM, that is my URL, Delaware Blogger. I give you more podcasting pointers, but you can find and follow me on all my social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, my blog, as well as my podcast, by using the Linktree ID Del Blogger. And again, think about what it is that you want to do, what you can share, what's your passion, and turn that boredom into a podcast. So I'll see you again tomorrow, same time, maybe, but the next day, always. Stay smart, stay safe, stay social, still from a distance, mask up when you go out, and I'll see you in cyberspace. See ya. It's the DE Diva, aka the Delaware Blogger, and don't be bored. Start a podcast. Bye-bye.